first met Amanda Beard when she won a gold medal and 2 silvers in the '96 Olympics at the age of 14. She's had an up and down career ever since. From setting a world record and winning gold in the 2004 Games in Athens to a disappointing showing in Beijing. After taking some time off away from the pool, she recently decided to make a run at the 2012 Olympics. Only one slight problem. She recently gained 50 pounds. But for good reason.
Hi! Hello!
To make it to her 5th Olympics, this new mom must overcome one of the biggest challenges an athlete can face: a changing body. But she's done it before.
The thing that was crazy is after '96, within a year, I grew about 6 inches and gained about 25 pounds, which is huge. I mean, I just had a major growth spurt. And it was like I was a foreign body all of a sudden in the pool, and it's very awkward. I didn't know how to pull the new weight through the water.
At 14 years old, Amanda arrived at the Olympics at 5 foot 2 inches tall and 100 pounds. Then puberty really took over. Over the course of the next year, the body that had just won Olympic gold changed completely. A growth spurt typically works from the outside in. First, the hands and feet. Then, forearms and lower legs. Upper arms and thighs. And finally, the trunk. Production of hormones like estrogen and testosterone increases, and the body composition begins to change. Both muscle and fat increase, but fat grows faster than muscle.
When a woman develops, I think it actually is worse for them in the sport, because then you're kind of getting used to a whole new body and body weight. Those down times in your career are so devastating, and they're so hard to deal with. You feel frustrated and upset with yourself, and you just don't understand exactly why you're going through this and what's happening.
I've had a chance to just watch a transformation over a period of time with Amanda. She's one of the fiercest competitors I've ever been associated with.
Legendary University of Arizona swimming coach Frank Bush has been coaching Amanda for over a decade.
Started out as a fantastic career as a young girl, 14 years old, swimming in the Olympics, medaling, and then sort of hit a bit of a dry spell, a dip in her career a little bit. Came to Arizona and proceeded to march right back up the mountain. A lot of people can say a lot of things about adversity, but when it comes to direction and the ability to follow that direction with her heart and soul, I'm not so sure I've ever seen anyone quite like that.
Learning how to swim with a different physique, Amanda managed to make the 2000 Olympic team in Sydney. But many thought only winning a bronze must have been a disappointment.
I get asked all the time if I'm disappointed about the Sydney Olympics because I only won a bronze. And my answer is no. If people saw what I went through after the '96 Olympics and the hard times and the training and the wanting to give up and all of that, and to be able to walk away from that Olympics with a bronze medal was kind of this, like, such a sweet success, and it was so much hard work put into that medal that I absolutely love that bronze.
She built off that personal triumph. In 2003, Amanda equaled the world record in the 200-meter breaststroke, and the next year in the Athens Olympic Games, broke the world record.
The 2004 Olympics was probably one of the most fun Olympics that I competed in, just because I was literally on the top of my game, feeling good.
But she wasn't off the roller coaster just yet. 4 years later in Beijing, she failed to even make it out of qualifying.
I think there was a lot of things that contributed to my 2008 performance. I wasn't focusing on training. I was kind of more preoccupied with going to appearances and red carpet events and things like that. I don't even know how I made the Olympic team in the first place. It was kind of a shock. Just wasn't prepared.
Not long after Beijing, Amanda and her husband, Sasha Brown, learned she was pregnant.
Sasha, The worst part about it was morning sickness. For the first couple months, that pretty much consumed her. You know, her time was like spent in bathrooms throwing up.
And once again, Amanda found herself with a radically different body.
My body changed drastically. I gained about 50 pounds.
Pregnancy alters the female body in numerous ways, and many are beneficial to athletes. Making room for that tiny passenger changes a woman's anatomical structure, joints especially. Feet, knees, and hips become more flexible, and the pelvis widens. The rib cage expands to allow for better breathing. Aerobic capacity improves. The heart increases its stroke volume, and the total volume of the blood in the body increases by as much as 60%. That's a huge benefit because all that extra blood is flooded with hemoglobin. This protein carries oxygen-rich blood throughout the body, providing essential fuel for our muscles.
I was training about 5 weeks after Blaze was born with basically no sleep. I mean, I'd be up at 2 in the morning, again at 4, honestly not sleeping, and then I go and swim for about an hour because that's all my body could handle at that moment.
I think she's had enough time with being a competitor that she's able to jump into mommy mode pretty quickly. It's not like she has to turn off a switch or turn something on. She's just kind of both at the same time all the time, which is incredible to me.
Despite living in a constant state of exhaustion, it didn't take long for Amanda to decide she wasn't quite ready to give up competition.
I started to slowly get back into shape, and then I started hitting the weights a little bit harder and things like that, and then just started to realize I really love this sport. I'm not completely done with it. What if I just swim for another couple years and swim through 2012, see what happens?
An athlete excelling after giving birth is by no means unprecedented. Kim Clijsters won the U.S. Open 18 months after having a baby. And Paula Radcliffe won the New York Marathon less than 10 months after childbirth. And Amanda had an up-close view of an elite athlete coming back. One of her Olympic teammates in Beijing.
Amanda saw Dara Torres do it. I think the world saw Dara do it, so it was one of those situations where she could really say, okay, if I want to come back to swimming, I can.
My body is my tool. I use it every day in the pool. I need to make sure that I take care of it and that it's to what it's capable of.
She's mentally stronger than anybody I've ever met as far as training. I mean, for her to get back in the pool and start training as hard as she did right away was pretty amazing to me.
One afternoon, she somehow got together with my wife, Patty, who she's gotten to know pretty well, and Patty had been involved with what they call SWAT training here in the area. Recommended this personal trainer, and he's done a remarkable job with her.
My trainer's ridiculously intense, and he kind of mixes it up. He pushes me harder than anybody's ever pushed me. Once I started training with him, I lost about 20 pounds of fat and gained about 10 pounds of muscle, and I mean, he basically has transformed my body and made me probably the strongest that I've ever been in my swimming career.
Not to mention the fact that she probably picks up her son 150 times a day, and naturally things have just fallen into place for her now.
Only time will tell if Amanda can rebound yet again. As every working mother knows all too well, juggling a career and a baby is one of the biggest challenges we can face. And while Amanda's dealt with changes to her body before, she's facing her biggest hurdle yet. But this time around, a different body part has undergone the most radical transformation.
I think being a mom has changed everything in my life and in my swimming career. It basically has changed my perspective and my outlook on swimming. And then I look at my son, he's a big deal. You know, my workout, if I had a bad workout, not a big deal. And I think, you know, kind of taking a step back and looking at swimming in a different way has done nothing but actually help my swimming. So it's been a huge blessing.